Hello, homies and schoolies who are homies today. It's Miss Cross, and I hope you're having a great day. We sure are missing you and wishing we were with you today, but we'll see you tomorrow. I want to kind of just go through a few slides explaining what you're going to do today in math. And you're going to attempt this independently today. Schoolies, you're going to bring it back to school with you tomorrow. Homies, keep it handy in your math folder or in your journal because I'm going to do it with you tomorrow, but I want you to try it today. So remember, we're in the middle of our geometry unit. We're working on the learning targets of classifying on the presence or absence of parallel or perpendicular lines, the presence or absence of right, obtuse, and acute angles, and we're going to be recognizing later this week right triangles and sorting shapes based on their sides and angles. So you won't be able to say you can do it until the end of the week, but today we're going to start looking at shapes and sorting them based on the presence or absence of something. So that means, does the shape have parallel lines, or is the shape absent of parallel lines? So presence means a shape has that thing, absence means it does not. So I'm going to talk you through a little bit of this and then you're going to try it today. So, oops, okay. So think about the different types of angles we have learned about. If you remember back to last week, we learned about right angles, which were those perfect 90-degree angles, like in the corner of a square or a piece of paper. We learned about acute, little tiny acute angles. Those have a degree of less than 90. So any amount of degrees lower than 90. It could be 20 degrees, it could be 47 degrees, it could be 89. If the number is less than 90, it's an acute angle. Okay, and then the third type we learned about was obtuse angles. And if you remember, obtuse angles are bigger angles than 90 degrees. So if you see a number of degrees, 100, anything greater than 90, bigger than 90 is going to be an obtuse angle. Okay, so how could we use these angles to classify and sort shapes? Well, we're going to identify what attributes shapes have, or if they are present, or attributes that they don't have, meaning those attributes are absent. And then we can sort and classify shapes. So we can put them in groups that are similar and classify them, which means we give them a title or a name, okay? So we can do this with different types of angles. We can also do this with some of those lines we learned about. Remember, we learned about parallel lines last week, and parallel lines are kind of like railroad tracks. They're lines that go on forever and ever and ever and will never cross each other. Okay, so they're the same distance apart from each other at all times forever and ever, like stripes on a shirt. They will never cross each other. We also learned about perpendicular lines, and those are lines that intersect, they cross each other at a right angle. Okay, so if you think of a square, all of those angles would be where lines are intersecting and are perpendicular. Okay, so we can notice if shapes have parallel lines or they don't. They have perpendicular lines or they don't. They have right angles or they don't, and the same with acute or obtuse. Either they have them or they don't. Okay, so this is what you're going to do. Schoolies, you took home 2 papers yesterday. One is a recording sheet or a sorting sheet with a table on it. The other is a paper with some different shapes. Now, homies, you should print these out from your Google Classroom. Schoolies, if for some reason they didn't make it home with you, they are also in your Google Classroom, so you could print them out as well. And if you print it out, you'll notice that the shapes are on one piece of paper 2 times. So if you print it out at home, you only need to cut 1/2 of the paper out. Okay, so you're going to have a sorting sheet and the set of shapes, thinking about the different types of angles your shapes have or do not have. You will work to sort these shapes. As you cut out each shape, and just cut out the square around the shape. Some of the shapes are kind of tricky to cut. So just cut out the square, leave the shape within the square. Think about its attributes. Does it have right angles? Does it have obtuse or acute angles? Does it have acute and right angles? Or does it have acute and obtuse angles? Are those things possible together in the same shape? I don't know. You're going to have to explore these shapes and see what you can see. You also want to think about, does it have any parallel lines or perpendicular lines? Does it have both? Is that possible? I don't know. You guys are going to have to look at it. So you might sort them out, lay them out on your table and kind of think about them. You might move them around a little bit as you maybe advance your thinking or realize something you thought wasn't correct, and you can change them around. So don't glue them until you're pretty sure. Okay? And we, again, will look at this together tomorrow. So bring it back to school. If you're a schoolie, homies, keep it somewhere handy. Don't let your dog eat it. Don't let your little brother rip it up. No excuses, okay? So we will go over this tomorrow. I will be here to help you tomorrow. If you have any questions, please send us a message. Let's see if we have, yes, we do have a little, this one's not that great, but a kind of funny little meme at the bottom. So some of you guys might remember when you were babies, or you might have younger brothers and sisters, you had this thing called a shape sorter. Well, who knew you would need to use your shape sorting skills in 4th grade? All right, friends, if you have any questions, please let us know. Do your best at this. Really think about the shapes, the attributes, what is present, what is absent, and get them sorted into the right category. And I can't wait to see your work back tomorrow. All right, guys, have a great day. I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.